Perfect. So welcome to the Beanstack Challenges webinar. I am Penelope Dolphin. I'm a library technician in the Library Development Services Department at YRL, and I pretty much do all of the work in behind the scenes at Beanstack to keep those monthly challenges coming out, monitoring the reports and everything like that. I would say I'm probably the Beanstack expert at YRL if you have any questions about it. And I am here with Chaddie.
Hi, I'm Chaddie Langman. I'm the current Darwell Public Library manager. This will be my third year of experience with Beanstack and Challenges, so I'm looking forward to talking about what I've learned.
Great. Just give me 1 second here. So today we are going to go over Beanstack Challenges. I'm going to kind of give an overview of how you create a challenge, kind of from start to finish. And then we will delve into different library experiences. So Chaddie will share some valuable insight with us, and then I will be sharing some insights as well on behalf of Hinton. So, what are Beanstack Challenges? Hopefully, if you're here, you know a little bit about Beanstack, but it's basically designed to enhance reading programs and engage patrons. So the challenges provide a fun way to keep track of their reading. They can earn badges to mark various milestones and achievements, so it kind of gamifies that and keeps them reading more. So these badges can be earned by logging the reading, by submitting book reviews, and by completing a variety of activities. Badges are also able to be used to enter drawings, which you can run from any challenge, and you can pick people to win prizes. So there can also be real life prizes if your library wishes it. So on Beanstack, we have monthly site-wide challenges that everyone is able to participate in. And then there is also the ability to have library-specific challenges where you can create your own challenges that is only available to your library patrons. So we're going to be walking through the process of creating challenges today. So before we get started, we need to talk a little bit about the access levels for the admin site for Beanstack. To create challenges, you need to have a full library administrator access. So that is this green on the left-hand side. It gives you all of these permissions. Unfortunately, it also grants full site-wide permissions, which can make things a little tricky. So we like to give that out to only one person at a library. And of course, we ask that you only use this power for good and that you just use it to create challenges and do not make any changes to the actual site. Other staff are able to have permissions that will allow them to sign up patrons, to add patrons to challenges, run reports, and run drawings for any challenges. So there is a variety of different levels. When you are signing up, we will need to give you permissions on the back end. So just let us know what you are looking for, and we can give you the correct permissions. So when you start creating your challenge, you're going to want to come up with a theme. So that can be something like summer reading, or something else, whatever you decide. Once you have a theme in mind, you will need to create some customized badges for your patrons to earn. So these, we want them to be exciting. We want them to be bright, colorful images that get them excited to read more and to earn more badges. They should go together as a collection and match your theme. So you'll normally need around 10 to 20 badges depending on what you plan for your challenge. The badges will show up all as round, but there is a feature when you upload them that I will show you that allows you to adjust the circle of view. So you can start with a square image. You can also kind of have some stuff in the background. In this bean one, you can see there's a little bit of blue that won't show up with the circle that you the circle template that the site uses. So that outside stuff won't show up. I recommend using Canva to create these badges. It's pretty quick and easy. I normally just place a circle down on a square background, change the color of it, and add a picture or words in the middle. So you can kind of quickly knock them out that way. And I am going to show you how to upload them on the site. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and share screen. So hopefully you should be able to see. Great. So like I said, I do just make them on Canva. So this is one I made. It's got the circle in the background, a fan, and I added some wind. And it's pretty quick to do. If you want to see how it would look without, like if you have stuff coming outside of the borders, you can add a white circle around it to just kind of see what it's going to look like when you have that template on top of it. But it's super quick. Then once you have your badges, you're going to go to the back end of Beanstack. So you should see Welcome to Beanstack Admin. You're going to click Challenges. And then it's easiest to upload your badges as a whole badge group just to match the challenge. So you're going to click into your badge groups. You can create a badge group. Normally you would just call it whatever your challenge name is. And then you're going to create a new badge. So from here, you're going to select the badge image that you created earlier. So those should be saved on your computer. And like I said, it has this little template here. You can click and drag this around, but only whatever is in the circle will show. And you can zoom in or zoom out to make it fit as you want. And then you can give it a name. So be something like challenge, name, beach ball. Like it doesn't have to be that specific. It doesn't have to be what it's going to be used for. It's just kind of describing what's in it. And then, yeah, once you have it perfect, you click create. So then you would keep uploading badges to this group until you have all your badges added. Once they're added, you click create this badge group. Now you will be able to choose badges from this group when you are creating your challenge. I am going to cancel this. Next, we are going to go through challenges. So you will also be creating challenges in the back end here. It is under the challenges section. You just click challenges and you can create and manage challenges from here. So you click create a challenge in the top right corner here. And then you will notice that you are able to choose from a couple different types of challenges. So the main challenge type that is used is probably the easiest and most versatile is the log any reading challenge. So readers earn badges for logging reading, and you can also add review badges and activity badges to this challenge. If you want to be super specific, you can create a reading list challenge. So this is where they have to log specific titles. So you create a reading list that is specifically attached to this challenge, and when they mark those books as complete, they will earn badges. There is also a bingo card challenge. So this, you can add those three types of challenge badges, so logging, reviews, and activities, but they will be laid out in a bingo card grid, and readers can complete the challenge by getting specific lines in the bingo card or by completing the entire bingo card. So I am just going to go through a basic challenge. So I've selected that one and I'm going to hit next. You can modify another challenge, but I would be careful with that because we have done a lot of these challenges. So you might be giving your patrons repeat badges, which is not fun for anyone. Or you can just use the blank template, which I recommend. So once you're here, you're going to want to put in the name, the description. You can add an image that will appear above it. And then you're going to want to decide for your challenge. Are you going to limit it by age? So for certain challenges, for instance, if you're doing summer reading challenge and your summer reading programs are from kids, 5 to 12 or whatever your limit is, you can switch the ages to match what you want it to be for. You can also run multiple challenges for different age groups. So one from 5 to 12 and then one from 12 to 18. If you don't change it, it's just going to be from 0 to, I think it was 109, which should encompass everyone. Then you'll need to decide if you want it to be an ongoing challenge. So basically available for patrons to use into perpetuity forever, in which case you'll want to leave these blank. Or if you want to have it from, July to the end of August for a summer challenge, then you can fill in the blanks. You'll want to leave it at no, so it is not for staff members, it is for patrons. And then you will need to add a code. So this is really important. This makes it so that only your patrons will be able to sign up for this challenge and that the front page of the website isn't cluttered by a bunch of challenges that people aren't actually eligible for. So you can enter a super quick code like summer reading, and then you give your patrons the code, or you can sign them up for the challenge in the back end. And then I normally leave all of this disabled because I do not care about their gender, grade level, library branch. They should only be from your library. So this information is less interesting to me. Oh. So we'll say this is summer reading 2025. Now the badges section is where you can choose what type of badges you want. So currently it is only set to logging badges. So that is for logging minutes or books. They will get a badge, whatever you decide for them. You can also enable activities and reviews. I recommend both of these. I think they're more engaging than just logging. You normally want to leave it at any time so they can earn these badges throughout the entire challenge. And then you can start adding badges. So there will always be a registration badge that they get as soon as they are registered. And I just uploaded all my badges so they can get this beach ball as soon as they register for the challenge. So you can click save and add. They'll get a challenge for when they complete it. And then you can go into the various types of badges. So we have a logging badge. They can get the campfire badge when they read for 60 minutes on Beanstack. For review badges, it's number of reviews. So right now it's set to 1 review. If they post 1 review throughout the entirety of the challenge, they'll get this desert badge. And then activity badges are very fun to create. So you have to give them a little title. So you could say something like, check out the summer reading program at your library. Check out a summer reading program. Maybe event makes more sense. Then you pick your batch. And normally you don't really need to, you want it to be active. and you'll click Save and Add. And then you click Add an Activity. So this is where they can either click a little check mark to say they've done the thing, or you can make it a text box challenge and they have to enter text. So for this, I could say, which program did you attend? What did you think? And they would have to answer that before they get the badge. And then once you're done, you click done, and you can add multiple activities to a single badge. If you want them to check out a link and then answer a text box question, that's fine. And that's kind of the basics of creating a challenge. It's not too difficult. If you want, you can make it so that each badge will earn one ticket, and you can add in a specific prize or multiple prizes that they can put these tickets towards. So something like that. You can add a picture, and then you can add multiple prizes. Oops. You'll have to choose when you run the drawing. Add an image, and this will show up. And then you can have multiple prizes, and every time they earn a badge, they can decide if they want to put their tickets towards this ULS order or a gift card or an inflatable chair, whatever prizes you have. But you do not have to do this. This is optional. So you can click disable. It's automatically set to disable tickets. And that is that. While you're creating the challenge, you can just click save and exit and come back to it. If you would like to publish it, you have to click published in the drop-down and it will give you an option to publish it. So I'm going to save and exit now. So now my challenge should show up in the list of current challenges. If I want to take a peek at it, I can click this eyeball and it'll show me what it looks like so far. So I don't have an image up there yet. I don't have a description, but you can kind of see how the badges will appear to everyone who is participating. So they'll see the logging badges, they'll see the activity badges, which look like this. And then you'll see they'll have to add their response here. And then the review badges as well. And the challenge badges are those completion and signing up badges. So that's a good way to kind of see what it'll look like. If you have the code, you can always publish it and just use your own account to register for it if you want to see what it looks like in color. But the preview is pretty explanatory. So that is challenges. Once you have a challenge, you might want to attach a drawing to it. So if you don't want to do the ticket method and you just want to do a simple drawing, again, it's under that challenges image in the bar there, it's drawings. You can create a drawing. So this you will want to attach to your challenge. And the name doesn't matter, no one will really see it. So you can say, my library summer reading week 1, if you want to draw every week, depending on what you want to do. So it'll automatically be set to ticket. So again, that's only for challenges that have that ticket feature selected. Otherwise, you can just do a general drawing where everyone will be entered into the same prize. You select your library and you select the challenge you want it to be attached to. You can select a start and end date. I normally would just keep it to the challenge and you won't need to worry about age because your challenge will be set up for whoever you want to be able to enter. You can be more specific and look at books read or days read, but I normally just do it for total earned badges. So every time they earn a badge, they get an entry. You can make it weighted so that each time they get another badge, they'll get more drawings. So that more they participate, the more they'll be entered into the draw. And you can choose the number of winners. So if you have 4 prizes that are exactly the same, you would just pick 4. If you have a prize like a grand prize, then you'd want to do ordered placement. So there'd be a first prize winner and then a second prize winner and so on. And once your drawing is complete, you hit save and it will show up under current drawings. You can click into it and this will allow you to pick your winners. So currently, I don't know what I picked. I picked some random statistics. So there are no qualifying readers. But it would give you a list of everyone who qualified. And if you like, you can export that to an Excel sheet. And then to determine winners, you just click this and it will pick however many winners you added to the drawing. It does not notify them. So once you have this information, you will have to find their information, which should be saved under their account, and contact them to let them know they won. So that is drawings in a nutshell. I am going to open Zoom and see if we have any questions. If anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Okay, let's see. Does Beanstack have any built-in images for badges? It has built-in badge groups that are already created that you're able to choose from. So when I was selecting from those in the challenge, let me open it up. There was pretty much every single challenge they've ever done, that Beanstack has ever done, has a variety of badges that they've created for it. You just want to be careful that you are not using badges that have already been used for a previous year. So we got Beanstack in 2023, I think was the first summer we used it. You can see these are all badges that are created by me, but they're not. There's some from Darwell. It's just anyone under the YRL umbrella. So I could look at what Darwell used and select, like you have the ability to select from them. And then Beanstack has a lot that they have created. So they have like a generic back to school. They've got baby animals, and then they also have specific challenges. So back to school 2024, we probably did, I think we did run this in the fall, so people might already have these badges, but we never ran the back to school 2022. So you could look at those. So you can kind of explore to see what they have here. And when you are looking for your badge group, it should be at the top under the created by you section. So you'll be able to see all the badge groups that have been added by anyone in YRL. Dareth, are badge groups visible by all branches? Yes, okay, yes. So yes, they are. They are under that that umbrella I just showed. They're all available. You'll be able to see all badge groups that were uploaded. You could set it to 2 branches. Okay. Dareth also asks, what about libraries that are close to another library, like Stony and Spruce? Can we set it up to be from 2 branches? You could set it up to be from 2 branches. You could work together as 2 libraries. When you're creating a challenge, again, it's just the code that keeps people from being able to, from different libraries from being able to enter. So if you both shared that code with your patrons, then both patrons from both libraries would be able to enter. When you're running any drawings, you're able to select multiple libraries to choose from. So you would be able to select Stony and Spruce if you wanted to run a co-challenge, which I think could be very cute. So if you guys want to work together on that, I fully support it. Okay, so I am going to stop. Yeah. It is up to you. Dareth is asking, we can set up challenges to be run, but allow other patrons to join. If you want the other patrons to join, you can give them the code and you can let them enter the drawings if you like. It is entirely up to your library. We just do the codes to keep it clean because it would get really cluttered on the front end, and some libraries would only want their patrons. It just depends on your library's preference. So I will stop sharing that and bring back the PowerPoint. And I will hand it over to Chaddie here.
Okay, so I guess this is my third summer doing summer reading challenges. In 2023, we did a very basic reading log, activity challenges, and review challenges. I set up a very simple, I think I copied it from where other libraries or other challenges that were up. We had 8 participants our first year, so not a lot of buy-in right off the bat. But when we went to 2024, we did a bingo version of the challenges, and I had 17 participants. So big growth in our second year. I think it was very popular once it got started. The kids really liked logging their own hours, being able to see the badges pop up. So in 2023, the reading log, we did not do the drawings, which now that I've seen how easy it is to set up, I would probably try that in 2025 because for my weekly drawings, I had to go into reports and see what each participant had been using or had been doing. And then I manually wrote in their name on a slip and put it into the weekly draw. So it was a lot of work on our end or on my end to do that, and seeing how easy the drawing is to set up would probably save a lot of time and effort on that back end. My activity challenges and review challenges, instead of weekly prizes, those were wrap-up prizes. So everybody who did any of those challenges, I put their name in a draw for some larger prizes at the end of the summer reading program. So in 2024, I took all of those same kind of challenges, but we put it into a bingo card instead. I don't know, Penelope, can you pull up our bingo card just to show folks what it looked like? Of course, it's not in color, but it was still really nice. So I took a lot of the same badges that I had used from the other one, activity badges like movie night. So that was read a book that was made into a movie, and then watch the movie. And then you can see further down the activity is a text box challenge where it says, what book did you read and what did you like more, the book or the movie? So they were able to input their information into that. I agree with Penelope that text box challenges, I think, add a little bit of interactivity to the challenges that the kids really liked. And the answers are always really interesting to read. You get to know your patrons when you can see what they like and how they respond to things. Okay, so that was my bingo card. We did reviews, logged minutes, and activities all in a different order so that they could win prizes weekly by doing lines, either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. This was a lot of work. The bingo card is really great and it looks really cool. And I thought that there would be a report where I could just go in each week and look at each kid's bingo card and see how many lines they had completed that week. That is not the case. So we had to go in each week and we had to look in reports and we had to look at each individual child and we had to see which badges they did that week. And then I had to line them up on a bingo card of my own so that I could keep track of who was getting what entry. Again, we're having a draw where it says, okay, if you get 5 badges, you get entered into the draw. Might have been an easier way to track a bingo card now that I know. So I would say the bingo card had a lot of participation, but it was a lot more work to track on our end. So this year I have basically recopied my 2023 challenge. And I'm going to change out some of the pictures of the challenges, but ideally, read a book that was made into a movie, or read at the beach, or join a program. Those are all still the challenges. Partly because I'm the only one here doing all of it. So to copy and reuse what I've already had just saves a lot of time. But now going over this or seeing what Penelope has showed me about different things, it would be easier once you've done it once and a second time. And now the third time I'm seeing lots of different ways that I could use Beanstack for our summer reading challenges. I think that's next slide. What else? So Penelope said that, yes, it's very easy to set up badges, and she's shown how you can do it, but it is time consuming if you're going to make each one of your own badges. So I do suggest, if you're able to, going through the list of what other people have used and just kind of copying and pasting into your challenge. It will save some time, because there's some really neat badges already made. She mentioned setting up a test account to check your challenges. So I've done that with everyone, going in to make sure everything looks good, works properly, and then making adjustments before the launch happens. I've definitely learned things that way. I think she was talking at the very beginning about not changing the website. I think I was the first person who went in and I changed everything, not realizing what I was doing. So just know that, you can't really wreck anything, because they will tell you that what you've done and they fixed it. So I think don't be scared to go in there and try making badges and pressing buttons and just learning how to use it. Patron response. So parents really like the ability to track the reading on their phones everywhere they went. That was the best thing, I think, about this, as opposed to having a paper copy of something that has to be brought back to the library every time to showcase what they've done. And the kids really liked having their own account, because they can make an account with their name on it, even though it's under their parents' original account. And then answering the activity badge quiz questions or drawings or anything that I asked them to do really had a good way of captivating them and making them want to keep going back to use it. So evaluation, although we had paper copies, most people used the Beanstack. So in the first year, I had 8 people use Beanstack, and I think I had 2 use the paper copies. And then in the second year, we had 17 people use Beanstack, and I think I had 3 or 4 use paper copies. But I definitely think that once people get used to this, it's much easier. And then, yeah, just reiterating that bingo was very hard to track, but it was very popular as well. All right. Do we have questions there?
Yeah, if you have any questions for Chaddie, you can type them in the chat there. I am going to be speaking on behalf of Janae Jauhaus at Hinton Municipal Library. So I'll talk a little bit about their experiences, and then we can also answer some questions at the end if you are thinking of any while we're talking. So Hinton has probably been our most prolific Beanstack user, and Janae has been responsible for creating the plethora of challenges that Hinton offers its patrons. So they do run a yearly summer reading challenge. It's been run the past couple of years and is now very familiar to patrons. So they offered prizes that appeal to all ages. It's an all ages summer reading challenge with 16 grand prizes. So this is a ticket style challenge where patrons earn badges and tickets for their reading, and then they can choose which prize they want to put their tickets towards. So that's a good way to do it if you are doing all ages. And these prizes were often from local sponsors and donations. Outside of summer, Janae tries to run challenges seasonally in order to keep patrons in the habit of using Beanstack so they're familiar with it. So seasonal challenges can run anywhere from 1 to 3 months long, just depending on the theme. So for instance, there was a Halloween challenge, which only ran for the month of October, but there's also a spring challenge, which can run for a couple of months. It just depends on what season or theme you're following. So Hinton likes to attach prizes to all the challenges in order to encourage participation. However, they have noticed that patrons that sign up initially due to the prizes often continue using Beanstack just for the fun of it. So the prizes don't necessarily even have to be pricey. For instance, the Halloween challenge prizes were for treat bags for everyone who completed it. Again, Janae ensures that challenges are all ages, which makes it less work, so you don't have to create multiple challenges for different age ranges. And it also makes it easier for families to sign up for them. And when they're all signed up for the same challenge, it also encourages a little healthy competition among the families, which is always fun. Okay, so for setup, Janae begins creating challenges by choosing a seasonal theme that matches the time period that they want to run the challenge during. So when stuck, she turns to AI for help with generating topics, also with coming up with badge names and some wording help. Once you've run a few challenges, you can look at previous challenge stats before you create a new one, and that can help you determine what goals work for your patrons. It can help you see if the reading time is too short or too long, and so on. However, Janae also makes sure to include higher goals for the overachievers, such as completing an entire bingo sheet or extra badges that aren't required for challenge completion. So that way it is balanced for those eager beavers and the slower readers too. Once the shell of the challenge has been determined, Janae will use Canva to create all the badges and banners for the challenge. She also uses Canva to develop the promotions for the challenge. So that can be flyers, social media posts, and other ads. Most promotion for the challenges is digital and it's over social media. So Janae will post multiple times from the beginning of the challenge to the end. She also pins the challenge as a featured post on Facebook and updates Hinton's Beanstack page on the website. So Beanstack has been so successful that they have their own page for it with information about how to sign up and the latest challenge. There is also always in-person promotion that library staff all contribute to, from those working at the desk or those running programs. So overall, setup for these challenges normally takes Janae a couple days. So that includes idea development and overall creation. There is also some added time for any final edits, and then of course the ongoing promotion. So there was an initial learning curve with the first challenge. So this was a new e-resource, and there was confusion for both staff and patrons who both experienced the learning curve. However, once patrons and staff were able to more easily figure out how to create accounts and log reading, it became a lot smoother. So the second year of summer reading went a lot better, and staff were more comfortable with the resource, and many patrons already had accounts and were eager to just join the challenge. The response to the challenges have been good, with patrons engaging more in the library as well. So some patrons come into the library to specifically check out books for these challenges. Parents and kids will select picture books that match the theme of the challenge, and the Hinton Library has started to create book displays that match the challenge themes. So there's been a lot of integration between this digital e-resource and the actual physical library. There are a lot of children that are currently participating in the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten challenge, and this challenge is available continually for all Beanstack users at any library. So that is a great way to track that if you want to run that program at your library as well. So for evaluation, Janae will use the Beanstack Reports tool, which is available on the admin side to help her evaluate challenges. So to judge the overall success of a challenge, she looks at the number of people who signed up versus the number of readers who actually participated and earned badges. So she notes that around the same number of people signed up for summer reading in 2023 and 2024, but that the overall participation in 2024 had increased by 38%. Janae has also included text box activities and challenges where readers must enter feedback on the challenge and then earn a badge. So this is a great way to get more quantitative feedback or qualitative feedback from patrons on how to improve challenges and shape future programs. So Janae's pros for Beanstack is that it's a free resource and it can add another form of engagement with library patrons. It helps to keep readers motivated and engaged with the library, especially with personal challenges. Janae also finds the admin site to be very easy to navigate with a robust reporting tool. Some of the cons of Beanstack: it's another resource that requires staff time. Year-round personalized challenges will require monthly dedicated staff time. It is also a little confusing for patrons to create accounts because, like some of our e-resources, they need to sign up under the Yellowhead Regional Library and not their own library name. Janae also mentioned that some people may find tracking their reading time tedious, but she has encouraged them to guesstimate their logging time. They can average how long a page takes or log it all at the end of a title. If they don't want to add a title, they can log time without a title and still complete challenges. She reminds patrons that it's supposed to be fun and not too serious. So just encourage patrons to find what works for them and go with it. And that is the end of our presentation here. So thank you, Chaddie and Janae, for your insights. Does anyone have any questions about that?
I saw there was a question about parents not wanting their kids to be online during the summer and trying to get buy-in. It is very simple and it's not gaming as per se, like it gamifies the reading, but it's not, it doesn't take a lot of time to go in and log the reading and then go back out. And I would also suggest that, if they don't want the kids to do it, then the parents could track it. They could ask the kids the answers. They could, to the questions and enter the information on their own without actually having any of the kids online if they didn't want them to be.
Yeah, there's nothing really on the website like that would take too much of their time. It's just logging reading. They can write reviews. They can look at book lists or see how much their friends have read, but there's no like chat function or, nothing that would take too much time online. There also is the ability for library staff to log reading for those people who maybe don't want to be online. If you're running a challenge with a drawing specifically attached to that and they want to enter, you could say, okay, well, just write out how often you read and I can log that on the back end for you. Staff buy-in? Well, you could create a staff challenge. There is that option and get everyone to sign up and offer some kind of prize or, get some healthy competition going with staff using it, a big leaderboard in the staff room, that kind of thing. Once people start using it, I think buy-in's a little bit easier. It just kind of can seem like a bit of a hurdle to start learning a new resource. But if they're using it just to log their reading and stuff first, that is, I think, pretty simple. And you can, use competition and bribery. Too much information. Yeah, they ask for a certain amount of information when creating an account. Most of it is contact information and then the age. We don't really require, there's some options that I skipped over, like gender. We do ask for library branch and local area just for your guys' reporting on the back end. That's useful information for you to have, and you want to keep track of your patrons that are on it. But I don't think it's more than, any other online account, really. It's like phone number, email, library, age.
Yeah, I didn't find that it asked for definitely not anything more than a regular, login
Mhm.
information. We didn't have anybody complaining about that. I think the biggest thing for us was like you said, letting them know that they had to log in as the Yellowhead Regional Library as their library. That's always was the like confusing part at the beginning, but I never fielded anything about too much time to set up. And even when I set up
Mhm.
my own account, I didn't find that it was, hard or needed any extra time than anything else does.
And you can set up like accounts, like one person has the actual account and you can add readers under it. So if
Mhm.
parents are concerned, the parent would have the actual account, and then there would be multiple readers that would be children or whoever attached to it.
Yes, that's how all of our parents did it for our summer reading
Mhm.
was their account and then adding children underneath them.
Is there any other questions from anyone? Is anyone inspired and ready to make a challenge right now?
I want to go fix my challenges.
Yeah, you can always
After,
learn. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
after seeing all the ones that Hinton does and the way that they use it, it's like, wow, I want to go and use it more.
Yeah, Hinton does an amazing job. Okay, if we don't have any other questions, oh, do we just, yes, yeah. So just let me know what email you used for, Michelle is asking if they contact us to get access to create challenges. So yeah, you can just shoot an email to Ask YRL, and if you have already created a Beanstack account as a reader, we can just attach those admin permissions to it. If you are going to be the challenge creator for your library, then we'll need to give you the full permission. So just let us know about that. Um, and once you have that challenges, yes, with great power comes great responsibility. So please just, work on your own challenges. Don't delete anyone else's work, and please don't change the site.
And just for anybody who's maybe nervous about doing it, Penelope was not lying. She is an expert. I have contacted her for every one of the ones that I have worked on and worked with, and she is really easy and does a really good job of explaining how to make things or make things work or
Mhm.
understand what's going on. So
Yeah, and I can
thanks for all
always
the
I
help.
can always hop on a quick video call and we can share screens if that's easier for you to understand. Thanks, Darren. Yeah, whatever makes it easier for you guys. And also, Beanstack does have a bunch of videos that will walk you through the process as well that are linked on that back end under the Beanstack Basics section. And they're divided into different functions like running a drawing, creating challenge, ticket challenges, that kind of stuff as well. And they're pretty comprehensive.